two souls colliding. We shared the pieces of ourselves. It's perfect timing now. We fueled the flames, but we're still learning to trust, learning to trust. It's never enough, never enough.
So guys, to start off with this tutorial, you need to mark 3" to 3.5" for your neck width, then mark half of your shoulder measurement plus your sleeve length. I'm using 12" for my client sleeve length. So what I want to do next is to come down by 1" for shoulder slope. Then I'll use my stretch ruler to connect my shoulder slope. So from the neck width, go ahead and connect from there to your 1" where you marked shoulder slope, okay? So once I'm done with that, I will have to come down by 10" for my client bust line. I'll repeat the same 10" on this side, so I'll get a straight line. So moving forward, I'll come down by the under bust. Her under bust is 16.5 and her waistline is 18. I've marked it. The full length is 24.5. So I will have to repeat the same measurement here. You get? I'll repeat the same thing here, so I'll have a straight line. So after marking my point, I'll have to connect a straight line like so. Remember, I marked the bust line, the under bust line, the waistline, and the full length. Alright. I'll go ahead and label. So I have my shoulder line, I have my chest line, I have my under bust line, I have the waistline and full length. So from the waistline, you can come down by at least 6" for your basque effect. Do you get 6 to 7 inches? Okay. So the next thing I want to do now is determine the neck depth. So this dress you're working with, the neck depth actually stopped at the under bust, but my client doesn't want us to get to the under bust, so I'll make use of 9". If you want us to get to the under bust, you can go ahead and extend your neck depth to get to the under bust. So for this dress, I'm using just 9" for it. Okay. So after connecting my V neckline, the next thing I want to do is to come down, or you determine how open you want the armhole to be. So to get your actual armhole depth, you should divide your bust measurement by 6. Whatever you get, you add 1.5" to it. So that's your accurate armhole measurement you get. The next thing I did was to come in by 3" at the chest line. So I will extend the line like so. Once I'm done with that, I will come down to the under bust line and I'll mark quarter of the under bust measurement plus 2" for seam allowance. At the waistline, I will mark quarter of the waist measurement plus 2" for seam allowance. You get? So at the full length, I will mark quarter of the hip measurement. I won't be adding seam allowance. I'll just mark quarter of the hip measurement like so. Then I'll connect from that point to the waistline, and I'll use my stretch ruler to connect from the under bust to the waistline just like this. You get? So after connecting this, next you want to do is to go in by the same 3". Then you connect a straight line just like this. You get? So now that I'm done with this, next thing I want to do is to make the curve for the armhole. Just connect your armhole curve like so. Alright. When cutting, I'll be cutting with the direction of this marker, just like this. Just should look like this. Okay, so once I'm done with that, you go ahead and cut. Just watch what I'm doing here so you know the right part to cut out. You get? So guys, after cutting from that waistline, I will come down by 2" because I want the back effect very obvious. If you don't want it too obvious, you can come down by 3" to connect your basque line or basque effect. You get? So I'm using a free hand to just make a little curve. I don't want it very sharp, like I don't want the mouth of this basque very sharp, so I added a little curve there and I went ahead to cut out just like this. And after that, I cut out from the under bust line, as you can see. So the next thing I want to do now is to transfer them to the actual fabric. So I'll be working with this beautiful print. What I have here is 6 yards, and guess what? I'll be using all of the 6 yards for my client. You get? So guys, I already cut out the neckline for the front. I didn't know my camera stopped recording, so that's why I couldn't get while cutting this neckline. I want to get the back neck depth. So for the back neck depth, I'll make use of the bust line. All right, so I want to have the back depth lower than the front. You get? So go ahead and just connect like so. So guys, after connecting, I'll go ahead and cut out. So first I cut out the front. Okay, so I'm here to cut the back neckline. I'm here to cut the back length. You get, I just used the pattern to cut the front first. Then I added like 1.5 inch for a rope casing at the shoulder area, and also half inch for stitching allowance all the way around. So now I will cut the back neck depth, and after cutting I'll use it to cut the back and 1 inch for zip allowance. So I've gone ahead to cut the back. As you can see, I added 1 inch for zip allowance plus half inch for stitching allowance, and at the shoulder area I added 1.5 inch for the rope casing, as you can see. So this is the basque effect. I've already cut it out and I added 1 inch for zip allowance. So what I want to do is to get the under bust line, which is 16 and a half, and I marked 18 inch for the waistline. From that 18 inch I went in by half inch, then I will connect it like so. This is to avoid zipper bulginess after attaching the zip. So I've gone ahead to cut out and I also notch, so that is where the zip will stop. You get. So now the next thing you want to do now is to go ahead and sew. You are going to gather the hemline of the upper bodice. You get. So the next thing I want to do now is to pipe the neckline, but I'm not just piping it because I have more than the inch for piping. What I had there was about 1.5 inch, so I'll just use half inch to stitch, then I'll turn it this way and I'll be right back. So guys, this is the front neckline. I've already cut out facing for it, as you can see. So I'll just go ahead and stitch. You maintain the V shape. So after stitching the back neckline, I will have to notch. Okay, so after notching, you turn it this way. Why you should notch it is to enable the zip allowance relax properly. Okay, so guys, now that I'm done with this, I'll use my pressing iron to iron it very flat. Then I will insert hemming gum underneath and I'll iron again. This will help it, this will help the facing relax properly. Alright, and it will stop, caping, you get. So this is the back upper bodies. As you can see, I did the same thing on the other one. So the next thing I want to do now is to run a gather stitch. Okay, so you are going to run your gather stitch after the zip allowance. You run your gather stitch after the zip allowance like so. For the front, I've already, sewed the facing, and I also ironed with my hemming gun. Go ahead and run the gather stitch for the front as well. So after running the gather stitch, guys, you can see what I have here. So I'll just have to go ahead and gather. Alright, I'll just gather like so. Then this is the basque inset. Remember, we are working on the back piece. Alright, and whatever we do at the back piece, we're going to repeat the same thing in front. Okay, so you should, arrange your gathers, ensure they align. Okay, ensure the both piece aligns very properly before you go ahead and place. So you place the basque inset right sides facing each other, and also place the lining for the basque under the upper bodies. Do you get? Just watch how I place this. If you don't get what I'm saying, please watch what I'm doing. You get. So you should go ahead and cut out lining for the basque inset, cut the front and also cut the one for the back. So this is the one for the back. You can see where and how I place the lining. So go ahead and stitch so it will cover the rough part of your gather. So guys, this is the front. I did the same thing for the front. As you can see, this is the wrong side. You can see the lining already covered the rough part of the gather. You get. So you should go ahead and repeat what I just did here. So this is the back piece. You can see how smooth it looks. So I've gone ahead to gather and attach the basque of the front and back. You can see. So the next thing I want to do is to place them right side facing each other like so. Then I'll go ahead and join the shoulder. Okay, so I notched the 1.5 inch. So you are going to mark it. Okay, mark a straight line. mark 1.5 inch and stitch on that line. You get, go ahead and join your shoulder with 1.5 inch. Repeat the same thing on this other side. Okay, so before you stitch the shoulder, fold the sleeve. All right, fold your sleeve before stitching the shoulder. So I've gone ahead to stitch the both shoulders, as you can see, and I already ironed the seam opening. So I've also gone ahead to stitch the to fold the sleeve. Okay, I just folded the sleeve. Fold the sleeve before you stitch the shoulder. All right, so now you want to fold in about half an inch or more than half inch inside of this casing. You just fold it in like so, then go ahead and stitch, make a 12 stitch. All right, so guys, I've gone ahead to make my top stitch, as you can see. The next thing I want to do now is to go ahead and shape. All right, so remember we added like 2 inch for seam allowance. We are going to mark the 2 inch for seam allowance. Okay, so we are going to use that for the shaping allowance. Okay, so at the sleeve area you should mark half of the round sleeve measurement. When taking your client round sleeve measurement, ensure you add some ease. Okay, ensure you add some ease. It doesn't need to be tight. The sleeve area should not be tight. Add about like 1 inch or 1.5 inch for ease. You get, then go ahead, use it to, shape the sleeve. Okay, so I've gone ahead to shape, guys. After shaping, you can see what I have here. The next thing I want to do now is to take the measurement I have at the hemline. So I'm going to take this measurement, then I'll use it for the gathers. You get, so what I have here is 51 inch, and I'll have the exact 51 inch before attaching the gathers. So for the gathers, I'm making use of 4 yards. All right, and the length of this gown, the full length of the gown, is 62 inch. You get, I remember from the waistline we came down by 2 inch before connecting our basque waistline, and the half length is 18. So 18 plus the 2 inch we came down will give us 20 inch. All right, remember I said the full length of the gown is 62. So instead of me marking this 20 inch, I will mark 19 inch, because we are going to use 1 inch for the folding of the down part. So I measure what I have there towards 2 inch. That's the excess I had. So I'll just use it to make a straight line. I'll use the 2 inch to make a straight line, and I'll go ahead and trim out the excess. Okay, so after trimming out the excess, next thing I want to do now is to open it up. So I'll open it up and I'll head over straight to my sewing machine to run a gather stitch from this end to the end of the fabric. Okay, so I've gone ahead to run my gather stitch, and I already gathered as well. I did this out of camera for the sake of time. So I want to take the measurement I have there, and I'm supposed to have exact 51 inch. All right, we got 51 inch at the hem of the half length, so I will have 51 inch here. Then I'll have to go ahead now to attach it. Okay, so you place it right side facing each other, place them right side facing each other like so, then use half inch to stitch. You get, so I'll just go ahead and do that. So I've gone ahead to stitch, guys. You can see how beautiful this look. I've gone ahead to stitch. Now that I'm done stitching, I want to attach the rope. So I have about 4 ropes here. The length is 20 inch. All right, and the wideness of this rope before folding was about 1.5. Fold one side of the 4 ropes. Okay, fold before you make your rope, so you don't have rough edge on both sides of the rope. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so I'll just go ahead and I'll just pass it through the casing we created. So I use safety pin for this. So the next you want to do now is to stitch. You are going to attach the second rope, then you stitch together like so. Stitch on the rope, make it neat. Okay, so after that, guys, you can see what I have here. So this is the time to ruche your sleeve or the shoulder. Just go ahead and tie like so. Repeat the same thing on the other side. Okay, once you're done with that, you will have it looking like this. The next thing I want to do now is to lay this dress on the floor so I can trim out the excess. Okay, so you place your tape from the shoulder and chalk your full length. You get from the shoulder, you chalk your full length. I'm working with 62-inch length, so you can see how I marked it. So I'll just go ahead and trim it out. So guys, after trimming out, I also went ahead to fold the mouth. Okay, I've gone ahead to fold the mouth, as you can see. So go ahead and trim yours out. Place your tape at the shoulder, then mark the full length. Okay, then before you trim it out, this is the back. I've already attached the zip. So when attaching this zip, you must make sure these both lines align properly. Okay, make sure the both lines or the both joints, that joint, make sure they align very properly. Repeat the same thing on the under bust line, ensure they align properly. Okay, so guys, we are done with this dress. You can see how neat the inside looks. So I will have to set this rough part later. Apart from that, you can see how the under bust look very neat. So it's better to work with your lining. You get. So guys, this is the dress on my mannequin. You can see how beautiful this look. We have come to the end of today's tutorial. If you find this tutorial very helpful, kindly hit on the subscribe button, turn on notification bell, and bye.